right now, at this exact moment. There is a star in our galaxy preparing to explode, not in 1,000,000 years, not in 1,000 years. Scientists believe it could go in our lifetime. And when it does, it will be visible from Earth, in broad daylight, for weeks. The last time humanity saw something like this was the year 1006. But here's the thing nobody tells you. This star should have already exploded. It's been trying to die for over a century, and something keeps stopping it. By the end of this video, you'll understand why that matters, not just for astronomers, but for every living thing on this planet. Stars are not immortal. Every star, including our sun, is essentially a controlled explosion. At its core, hydrogen atoms are constantly fusing together. That process releases energy. That energy pushes outward. Gravity pushes inward. And for billions of years, those two forces are in perfect balance. But there's a limit. When a star is massive enough, more than about 8 times the mass of our sun, something eventually breaks. The core runs out of fuel. Gravity wins. The star collapses in on itself in less than a second. And then it detonates in one of the most violent events in the universe. A supernova, briefly outshining entire galaxies. That is the rule. Stars above a certain mass, they die in fire. Now, meet the star that got the memo and ignored it. Eta Carinae. It sits about 7,500 light-years from Earth, which sounds safely far away, until you learn it's inside our own galaxy. One of our neighbors, cosmically speaking. It's between 100 and 150 times the mass of our sun. That alone puts it in a category most stars never reach. But here's where it gets strange. In 1843, Eta Carinae exploded, or more accurately, it almost exploded. A massive eruption blasted 2 huge lobes of gas and dust into space. For a brief period, it became the second brightest object in the night sky, visible in daylight. And then it survived. Stars this massive don't survive explosions like that. The physics says it should be gone, but Eta Carinae is still there, still burning, still building towards something. What came out of that 1843 eruption is called the Homunculus Nebula, 2 expanding shells of gas, each about as wide as our entire solar system, still moving outward at 650 kilometers per second. To put that in perspective, if you were standing at the edge of our solar system, at the very point where the sun's influence fades, these gas clouds would cross that entire distance in under 3 hours. 3 hours to cross something it takes light over a day to cross. And all of that, every last particle of it, came from a star that's still alive. Okay, pause for a second. We just went from all stars eventually die to one star survived its own explosion and is now sitting 7,500 light-years away, loaded. If this is the kind of thing you want more of, subscribe. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps this channel keep going. And leave me a comment. If Eta Carinae exploded tomorrow and lit up our daytime sky, what would you do first? All right, we still haven't answered the most important question. What actually happens when it finally goes? And should you be scared? Keep watching. Here's what scientists actually disagree on. When Eta Carinae finally goes, and they believe it will, possibly within the next 100,000 years, possibly much sooner, it won't just be a supernova. Stars this massive have a second option, something rarer, something worse, called a hypernova. A hypernova releases more energy in 10 seconds than our sun will produce across its entire 10 billion year lifetime. 10 seconds, 10 billion years, same energy. And some hypernovae produce gamma-ray bursts, focused beams of radiation that travel at the speed of light and can sterilize entire planets. Now here's the question nobody can fully answer. Is Eta Carinae pointing one of those beams at us? The current best guess is no. The star appears to be tilted at an angle. That points the most dangerous emission away from Earth. Current best guess. The other thing nobody fully understands is why the 1843 eruption happened at all. The energy released was enormous, too enormous for any single known mechanism to explain. Some researchers think there might be a second star involved, a companion in a tight orbit, periodically destabilizing the system. Others think Eta Carinae is simply a category of a star so extreme it operates by its own rules. Both of those things can be true simultaneously. Here's what Eta Carinae actually reveals beyond the spectacle. We tend to think of the universe as ancient and settled. Planets in their orbits, stars in their places, everything operating on timescales so long they don't concern us. But Eta Carinae is a reminder that the universe is still actively doing things. Right now, in our galactic backyard. More than that, when Eta Carinae eventually detonates, the shockwave will compress surrounding clouds of gas and dust, and inside those clouds, new stars will form. Possibly with planets, possibly with the right conditions for something more. The death of one impossible star, seeding the birthplace of others. We know this because it's happened before. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen you're breathing right now, all of it was forged inside a star that exploded before our sun even existed. You are, in the most literal sense, made from the deaths of stars that refused to follow the rules. So, the star that refuses to die. It erupted in 1843 and survived something that should have killed it. It's still out there, sitting in our galaxy, accumulating mass, building pressure, waiting. And when it finally goes, the sky above every person on Earth will change. Not for a night, for weeks. We don't know exactly when. We don't know exactly what form it takes. We just know it's coming. That's not a threat. It's a reminder. The universe is not a static backdrop. It's a place where things happen, extraordinary, violent, beautiful things on timescales, just long enough that we forget to be amazed. Here's my question for you. If you woke up tomorrow and Eta Carinae had exploded overnight and a second sun was rising in the southern sky, what would be the first thing you'd feel? Drop it in the comments. I want to know.